The Filipino president, Rodrigo Duterte, and he was widely criticized by members of both parties because he invited Duterte to come to the United States. Duterte is a violent strongman, and we now have a transcript of the call, okay? It has been published in full by The Intercept. We are going to go through some aspects of this call, and it is incredibly disturbing. Let's start with the first part of the transcript here, if we can, Pat. And you'll see that in this, after greeting each other, Donald Trump says that I just want to congratulate you because I'm hearing of the unbelievable job on the drug problem. Many countries have the problem. We have a problem. But and this is kind of hard to see here, what you were doing, and I just wanted to call and tell you that. It's great what you were doing. There's a confidential stamp over this, so it's hard to see it. And the president of the Philippines says, "Thank you, Mr. President. This is the scourge of my nation now, and I have to do something to preserve the Filipino nation." And so at the bottom, then, the President of the United States says, "I understand that and fully understand that. And I think we had a previous president who did not understand that. But I understand that, and we have spoken about this before." Donald Trump is, within 30 seconds of getting on the phone with Rodrigo Duterte, the president of another country, slamming Obama completely unprovoked, right? Saying the previous guy didn't understand the problem of drugs, apparently, of drug usage or drug dealing. It's not even clear what problem Obama didn't understand. But then he praises Duterte for doing a great job on the war on drugs. People in the Philippines are allowed and encouraged to kill suspected drug dealers, and suspected drug users in the streets with no repercussions. Okay, so let's continue with the transcript of this phone call between our fearless leader, President Trump, and the president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte. Okay, so they talk about a couple different things, and then they get on to Kim Jong-un, okay? So Trump says, "What's your opinion of him, Rodrigo? Are we dealing with someone who is stable or not stable?" This is a sort of rough transcript. And the president of the Philippines says he is not stable, Mr. President, as he keeps smiling when he explodes a rocket. He even has gone against China, which is the last country that he should rebuke. But it seems from his face that he's laughing always, and there is a dangerous toy in his hands, which could create so much agony and suffering for all mankind. And this is where it gets really wacky. After they talk a little bit about Kim Jong-un, at the bottom of this page of the transcript, POTUS says, "We have a lot of firepower over there. We have 2 submarines, the best in the world. We have 2 nuclear submarines. Not that we want to use them at all." Trump is, again, bragging about firepower and talking about the strategic location of American Navy assets. He's bragging to another president about what we have. This is like when in the Oval Office, he was bragging to the 2 Russian officials about the great intel that he gets. That's what Trump does when he gets on the phone with a world leader, brags about our nuclear subs.
Well, remember, Trump said that he would learn foreign policy on the job. It turns out to be true because during the campaign, he didn't even know about the nuclear triad.
Yeah.
Now he knows about the submarines.
Now he knows at least that the 2 submarines exist. Okay. And then lastly, from this insane transcript between Trump and Duterte, this is the infamous invitation, okay, where Donald Trump said that you can tell him, let's see, where did he say that? He's a good guy. Oh, he talks about how he liked meeting the president of China. And then I think we have this second part of this where Donald Trump actually invites the president of the Philippines to come to the U.S., saying, "We will be happy to see you, Rodrigo, and I look forward to seeing you. If you want to come to the Oval Office, I will love to have you in our Oval Office anytime you want to come. I'll be in the Philippines in November, blah, 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 blah." That's the invitation that we now learned took place. So a few interesting things. Number one, even when on the phone with other presidents, Trump brags about nuclear power. He brags about weaponry. He slams Obama. So Trump's conversations with other world leaders seem to be the same as basically what he says at a campaign rally. There seems to be no difference in terms of decorum or approach for Donald Trump. And also what's endlessly fascinating from this is that Trump refers to the president of the Philippines as Rodrigo. And the president of the Philippines refers to Trump as Mr. President. That might be that Trump just lacks decorum and respect. I don't know what we can read into that. Maybe Duterte is just naturally more submissive in some way. But isn't this fascinating that we got this transcript?
It really is, because it just sounds as if Trump has some sort of man crush
Yeah.
on Duterte. I mean, when do we get to meet each other? November? Can we do a little earlier? Your place, my place? I'm all for it.
It's incredible, truly incredible. And I was reading that with endless fascination yesterday.
Ano ba itong pagchichikahan natin ngayon? Ang pagchichikahan natin ngayon ay ang nakakalokang pag-defend ng Rappler sa kanilang desisyon na i-publish ang isang confidential DFA or Department of Foreign Affairs document na naglalakip ng pag-uusap ni Pangulong Trump at ni Pangulong Duterte. Okay. Hindi ko na masyadong hihimayin kung anong naging pag-uusap, pero bibigyan ko na lang kayo ng idea. So, pag-uusap iyon tungkol sa threat ng North Korea sa East Asian security. It's a useful conversation between two heads of states, two allies. Allies pa rin naman tayo ng Amerika because of our mutual defense treaty with them. Pag-uusap nila tungkol kung paano i-manage ang isang threat na hinaharap nilang dalawa. And that is, sa usaping ito yung threat ng North Korea. Okay, so pag-uusap yon kung paano i-manage. Siyempre, meron silang frank na pag-uusap tungkol sa bagay na iyon. And in the course of the conversation, Trump even divulged or sinabi niya kay Pangulong Duterte ang weaponry na meron sila na nakadeploy doon. So these are highly sensitive information that has implications to national security and international security. Kung inyo matatandaan, President Duterte already divulged or na-reveal niya na partly yung na nag-usap sila before at kung pinag-usapan nila, and yung pakiusap nga sa kanya ni Trump na tawagan si Xi Jinping to perhaps convince North Korea to hush down or stand down, right? Pero syempre may iba pa doon pag-uusap na hindi na-reveal ni Duterte sa publiko. So in short, yung laman ng conversation na yon, partly noon was revealed by President Duterte already. And some of it hindi ni-reveal ni President Duterte, and because yung mga information na nandun are sensitive and not for public consumption. Right? Ngayon, the document was leaked. I don't know who leaked it. At dapat imbestigahan at tanggalin at ikulong kung sino nag-leak noon. Nileak iyon, and then it was published by The Intercept in collaboration with Rappler. Ngayon po, itong Intercept po sa Rappler, they are both funded by Omidyar Network. Omidyar Network is a foreign investor, and Omidyar Network has been implicated in destabilization plots in Ukraine. Ayan. Ngayon, syempre, binabatikos ngayon ng Rappler dahil sa kanilang kagagahan. Syempre, hindi nila inaanin na sila yung nagbigay sa Intercept. Diba? Kasi paano nga naman mapupunta sa Intercept yung document na yun? Diba? Tapos, in collaboration pa ng Intercept, in collaboration pa sila with Intercept sa paggawa ng article. At nakalagay dun sa article ng Intercept, it was Rappler who validated the authenticity of the document. So malamang nang galing kay Rappler, at dahil nga itong si Rappler, siguro alam nila na because this is a document na may kinalaman sa national security, mapipilitan silang ilabas yung source nila. So ang ginawa siguro ng Rappler, ibinigay nila sa Intercept para pwede sila makapaghugas sa kamay, di ba? Anyway, ngayon, itong si Rappler ngayon, kung ano-anong rason ang ibinibigay. Halimbawa, ito si Chai Hofelenia. I think Chai Hofelenia is one of the big guns sa Rappler. Ngayon, si Chai Hofelenia, ito si Madam. Bibigyan ko lang kayo ng isang background. Ito si Madam, parang estudyante ata niya si Aika Robredo sa Ateneo. Estudyante or whatever. Basta, malapit silang sa isa't isa. itong si Chai nag-post sa kanyang Facebook. Ang sabi ni Chai ay responsibilidad daw ng media na magkalkal, responsibilidad daw nila yan sa demokrasya, na magkalkal ng sikreto ng gobyerno or mag-release ng mga information sa publiko. Totoo naman yan. Totoo naman yan na responsibilidad yan ng media. Pero ang ginagawa ng media ay dapat ay sinasala nila. Diba? Kung ano yung ginagawa nila, kung ito ba ay makakabuti o makakasama sa bansa. If you have a confidential document with you, you have to think whether releasing it would satisfy any public interest. Diba? Kasi yung gagawin mo na pag-release niyan, that's illegal. So, there are times that we have to do something illegal in pursuit of a higher goal. Diba? May mga gagawin tayong mga bagay na ganyan in pursuit of a higher goal, right? Halimbawa, yung mga nagsi-civil disobedience, halimbawa si Henry David Thoreau, he refused to pay the poll tax dahil against sa slavery. It was illegal, but he did it for a higher goal. Of course, he was imprisoned. Ngayon ito si Chai, kinukumpara niya yung ginawa ng Rappler na pag-release ng confidential document sa ginawa ni Daniel Ellsberg noong 1970s. Bibigyan ko lang kayo ng briefing. Si Daniel Ellsberg po ay isang military analyst, US military analyst. Ngayon, nirelease po niya noong 1971, early 70s, yung tinatawag na Pentagon Papers. Diba? Yung Pentagon Papers po na yon ay yung po ay tungkol sa Vietnam War. Siyempre, Daniel Ellsberg got so disillusioned about the Vietnam War, so perhaps he thought na there must be something fishy. And yung something fishy, nandun yun sa Pentagon Papers. It was revealed by the Pentagon Papers that Lyndon B. Johnson is the confidential paper that was released is nothing but a normal conversation between two heads of states. In fact, two allies talking about how to manage a common threat, which is the North Korean missile and nuclear threat. Walang illegal. What Rappler did is it compromised national security. It revealed to North Korea yung complex maneuvering na ginagawa ng mga bansa in order to manage the threat that it poses to the region. So, what Rappler did is actually not in the service of anything at all, but for them to get a scoop. Diba? Tapos ang nakakaloka pa dito sa Rappler, kay Chai ended, tinapos ni Chai yung kanyang Facebook message na, hindi porket media ka, Chai, meron ka ng karapatan na mag-reveal ng information, kahit anong information sa publiko. No, there are information that you cannot reveal in public. And secrecy is necessary for a democracy to thrive. May mga information na hindi pwedeng ilabas sa publiko because it will compromise national security.